चंचल मन नित राम जपा कर,
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 पल पल छिन छिन घड़ी घड़ी निस दिन,
पल पल छिन छिन घड़ी घड़ी निस दिन,
राम जपा कर, राम जपा कर,
राम जपा कर, राम जपा कर,
चंचल मन नित राम जपा कर,
चंचल मन नित राम जपा कर,
प्रात समय की शुभ वेला में,
प्रात समय की शुभ वेला में,
संध्य समय की पुलकित रजनी,
संध्या समय की पुलकित रजनी,
रोम रोम से निकले तेरे,
रोम रोम से निकले तेरे,
राम जपा कर, राम जपा कर,
राम जपा कर, राम जपा कर,
चंचल मन नित राम जपा कर,
चंचल मन नित राम जपा कर,
गहरा सागर टूटी नैया,
गहरा सागर टूटी नैया,
जीवन तरणी राम खेवैया,
जीवन तरणी राम खेवैया,
पार करेंगे राम जपा कर,
पार करेंगे राम जपा कर,
राम जपा कर, राम जपा कर,
राम जपा कर, राम जपा कर,
चंचल मन नित राम जपा कर,
चंचल मन नित राम जपा कर,
सार तत्व की खोज किए जा,
सार तत्व की खोज किए जा,
प्रेम सरस रस रोज पिए जा,
प्रेम सरस रस रोज पिए जा,
पार करेंगे राम जपा कर,
पार करेंगे राम जपा कर,
राम जपा कर, राम जपा कर,
राम जपा कर, राम जपा कर,
चंचल मन नित राम जपा कर,
चंचल मन नित राम जपा कर,
पल पल छिन छिन घड़ी घड़ी निस दिन,
पल पल छिन छिन घड़ी घड़ी निस दिन,
राम जपा कर, राम जपा कर,
राम जपा कर, राम
चंचल मन नित राम जपा कर।
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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Let us chant the first 4 verses together. अनंत संसार समुद्रतारा
नौकारिकाभ्यां गुरुभक्तिकाभ्यां वैराग्य साम्राज्यद पूजनाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां। नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां। कवित्ववाराशिनिशाकराभ्यां दौर्भाग्यतापामुदमादिकाभ्यां दूरीकृतानम्रविभक्ततेभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां। नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां। नताययो श्रीपतितां समीयुः कदाचिदप्याशु दरिद्रवर्याः मोकाशवाचस्पतितां गीताभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां। नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां। नानीकनिकाशपदामृताभ्यां नानाविमोहादिनिवारिकाभ्यां तमञ्जनाभीष्टततिप्रदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां। नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां।
Yes. Prostrations unto Gurupādukās. These Padukas are capable of blessing us with everything, whether it is liberation, whether it is talents and abilities, whether it is taking out of us from all calamities and misfortunes, whether it is blessing us with wealth or scholarship, oratory skills, whatever it is, these Padukas are capable of blessing us. It can take us away, dispel all our delusions in life also, and it is capable of blessing us with the Chaturvidha Purushārthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. So this yesterday we were seeing Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So this is the philosophy of Hinduism. These are the Chaturvidha Purushārthas. This is how a person is supposed to live. So what is the first one? Dharma. How should we live our life? Following Dharma. Dharma means what? Righteousness. Following the values of life. This is how we should live. In short, please the Lord. Whatever you do, ask this question to yourself. Will the Lord be pleased with me? If the Lord will be pleased, then do it. Otherwise, don't do it. Any action which will create conscience prick, don't do it. Any action which will create guilt feeling, don't do it. So you'll always find that whenever you do dharmic actions, Bhagavan is pleased with us. Always. Why is it so? Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge, isn't it? Bhagavan comes for establishing dharma. So Bhagavan is an embodiment of dharma. So whenever his children walk the path of dharma, he loves it. He becomes very happy. Just like when our children follow the path of goodness, we also become happy, isn't it? Our love and affection increase for our children when they are on the right path. In the same way, Bhagavan also. So, how to please the Lord? Walk the dharmic path. This way one must live, whatever, wherever we are. So, when you walk the dharmic path, what will happen? Your mind will be purified. The only qualification for attaining moksha is one, a pure mind. That's why Bhagavan says, Etat jnanam iti proktam. This is knowledge. What is knowledge? All these values are knowledge. So such a heart filled with values becomes fit to attain moksha. So now, walk the path of dharma, perform all your actions in a dharmic way, then what will you get? Artha. Artha means what? Wealth. So earn wealth by following the path of dharma. Never earn wealth through adharmic means. Because there is something called artha shuddhi, purity of wealth. When you earn wealth, through which way you have earned your wealth? Through the right means or the wrong means? So if the wealth you have earned is impure, it will only destroy you. It's a law. It's a law of this universe. So the wealth we earn, there is something called pure wealth, there is something called impure wealth. So the wealth earned through, by crooked means, illegal means, not paying taxes, etc., that wealth can only destroy us. Very many people don't know this. Wealth will also go, it will take away everything of yours also. Right? There are so many means in which the wealth can go away from us. Some disease, everything is gone. Or a son is born, useless fellow, licentious fellow, everything is gone. Not only wealth is gone, peace of mind is also gone, everything is gone. So, a wise person will never earn wealth through illegal means. Rather, whatever wealth you have earned, one portion should be given to the society back, because we don't know, consciously or unconsciously we might have earned it through wrong means. For example, in business, some kind of deceit is there. You are hiding something from the customer, isn't it? Maybe you are taking more profit than what you are supposed to take. So in so many ways, unknowingly also we may be committing sins. So what we should do? One portion of our earned wealth should be given in charity. The way to purify the wealth is charity. The mind, the wealth becomes pure by giving. Artha shuddhi can be attained by donating money through in charitable purposes. Right, so artha should be gained through dharmic ways. And then with that wealth, kama, the third one is kama. Kama means what? Fulfilling the needs of life. Food, clothing, shelter, these are all the needs. Kama doesn't mean pleasures, licentiousness. No, kama means fulfilling the needs of life. Eating food, it can be to fulfill the need also, it can be to indulge in sense pleasure also, isn't it? That very same food, it nourishes you, if you are fulfilling the need of hunger. But the very same food can create disease if you are eating it for pleasure. You see, food can become poison, food can become medicine. Right? So when we say kama, it is only fulfillment of worldly needs. There are needs. With this wealth, you fulfill the needs. So in this way, if you live dharma, artha, kama, then moksha is guaranteed. Liberation is guaranteed. Mind will definitely become pure, and when you are fulfilling only the needs of life, your mind and the senses are under control. You don't become a slave of your mind and senses. So mind and senses are under control. Mind is pure. So what else do you need for moksha? Nothing else is needed. Right? So this is called ABHISHTA TATI. Abhishta Santati, Abhishta Parampara. This is what we desire, and this is what you get if you live this way. Namajjanabhishta Tati Pradabhyam Namo Namashri Gurupādukās. Nowadays, how are we living life? If you see in this world, moksha is not there at all. What is the goal of life? Kama is the goal of life. See what happens. Now, this is called as Nana Vimoha. What is moha? Purpose of life is only one, kama. What is happiness? Indulge. As much as possible, indulge. Even if the body is not capable, make the body fit to indulge through lot of medicines, etc. and indulge. Kama is the goal, but to fulfill your kama, artha is needed. So how to earn artha? Adharmic ways. See? You need wealth for sense indulgence. Wealth is earned through adharmic means. This is the way modern people are living their life. Just ulta. Even if people who are earning wealth in the rightful means, the purpose is only kama. Now this is another thing. For example, a person is in business, but in business he is very clean. Why is he clean? Not for purity of mind, etc. No. If you are straightforward and honest, you are, reliable. So when you are reliable, you will get more business. You see? You must be credible, trustworthy. So again, what is the purpose? The purpose is only earn more wealth. So dharma, now that we can, to some extent we can call it dharma because he is following a clean path. But there also the goal is only kama only. So that you will get more wealth, and that through more wealth you can fulfill worldly desires. So the highest is this. We have to be very clear about life. I am here for moksha alone. I don't want to suffer this again and again. Ananta samsara samudra, I don't want. So what has to be done? Live a dharmic life. Through that dharmic life, Bhagavan himself will ensure that you will get enough wealth to fulfill your needs. That is Bhagavan's responsibility. To ensure that a dharmic person gets enough wealth to survive in this world. Then moksha is guaranteed. Right. Now, continuing, verse number 5. Nripali Mauli Vrajaratna Kanti Sarit Viraja Jhashakanyakabhyam Nripattvadabhyam Natalokapanktehe Namo Namah Shri Gurupādukābhyam
Namo Namah Shri Gurupādukābhyam
Namo Namah Shri Gurupādukābhyam
Namo Namah Shri Gurupādukābhyam
Nripali Mauli Vrajaratna Kanti Sarit Viraja Jhashakanyakabhyam Nripattvadabhyam Natalokapanktehe
Namo Namah Shri Gurupādukābhyam Namo Namah Shri Gurupādukābhyam.
Yes. Now, here is the poetic mastery of the author here. Here a lot of people get confused with this verse regarding the meaning, etc. Nrupali Mauli Vraja Ratna Kanti Sarid Viraja Jashakanyakabhyam. One term it is. Right? Now start from the last. Jashakanyaka. Who is Jashakanyaka? Jasha means fish. So Matsyakanyaka. Matsyakanyaka means what? They are called mermaid. So it is a fictitious, imaginary being. So half part is a beautiful lady, the lower part is a fish. It's called as Matsyakanyaka, Jashakanyaka. So these two Padukas are like that Matsyakanyakas. Is the imagination of the poet. Two Padukas. But then for any Matsyakanyaka there has to be water, isn't it? They don't survive on land. Water is necessary. So Virajat. So where is this Jashakanyaka? Virajat. They stay. They remain. Where do they remain? Sarit. Sarit means river. So they remain in this river. Sarit Virajat Jashakanyakam. Which kind of river? River of Kanti, of brilliance, of shine. Shine of what? Ratna Kanti. Of Ratna. Ratna means gems, all that. Ratna. So if you see Ratna, when it is put in light, you see it shining, isn't it? So that shine. What kind of Ratna? Vrajaratna. So many Ratnas are kept in Vraja. Vraja means in series, in line, in rows. So many Ratnas are kept together, and these Ratnas are giving light. It's shining, and this shining is as though it is like a river. In river also you see water moving. So in the same way that shining is creating a river-like appearance. But where are these Ratnas? So Nrupali Mauli Vrajaratna. Nrupa means what? King. Ali means row. Rows of king, they are standing. Mauli means Kirita. So you have to imagine kings are standing with their head bowed down. So how is their Kirita? Like this. Okay. So many kings are standing in row, and all those Kiritas are like this. And what is there in the Kirita? Crown. These Ratnas are there. So all these Ratnas are together now. All these Ratnas are together, and in that light they are all shining. So that shining is compared to, it's like a river. You understand? It is not one king standing there. No, so many kings. So all those kings are standing with great reverence, devotion, surrender, humility. So their crowns have almost come together, touching each other. They are standing on both sides in rows. Nrupa, Ali, rows of kings. Nrupa, Ali, Mauli. Mauli means crown. So all those crowns are together. And on that crown, what is there? That crown is studded with so many gems, Ratna, Vrajaratna. So these Ratnas are also in a row now. They are all in row. They are together. And that light, this is giving a brilliant shine, and this shine is compared to a river. So in this river, these two Padukas are like mermaids, Matsyakanyakas, as though they are swimming there. Right? So what is the point here? The point here is, in front of these Padukas, the greatest of the greatest kings also, they come and bow down. Nripatvadabhyam natalokapantehe. Natalokapanti. So people, nata, going down, loka, people. So all those people who bow down in front of these padukas, nripatvadabhyam, they are blessed with what? Nripatvam, that state of being a king is called nripatvam. They are blessed with kingship. So these padukas are the kingmakers, we can say. Right. So now here, what is there to discuss? See, generally you see, a common man, he thinks that a king is the happiest person in this world. As far as a common man is concerned, this is his understanding. This is how it is. A tamasic person thinks that the rajasic person is the happiest. But only the rajasic person knows that the sattvic person is the happiest. And only the sattvic person knows that gunatita is the happiest. This is how it is. Okay. Everybody is looking at the higher level and says he is the one who is the happiest. Remember, tamasic fellow will never understand a sattvic person. He will never understand. Both appear to be same, doing nothing, keeping quiet, etc. Right? So, in the society, majority of the people are tamasic. That's how the whole thing is. Tamasic people are maximum, then rajas, then sattva, gunatitas are very, very rare. So it's like a pyramid structure in the society. So the majority of the people, they consider king as the happiest person in this world. Why do they consider so? Number one, a king has power. Number two, the king has wealth. And this is what, superficial analysis, this is what we understand. A person who has wealth, he is happy. So king has all the wealth, so therefore he is happiest. The king has all the freedom to do anything, so therefore he is the happiest. Freedom is happiness. Right? He has all the power, so he is happiest. And he is well secured. There are so many guards, etc. So security wise also he is absolutely secure. Therefore, because of his wealth, freedom, power and security, he must be the happiest. This is the wrong notion which generally people have in their mind. But what is the reality? Is he the happiest? In fact, he is the most miserable fellow. The first one, wealth. What is true wealth? What is the real wealth? Real wealth is a wealth of contentment. You don't need anything. That is real wealth. What is real freedom? Real freedom is when your mind and the senses is under your control. This is real freedom. Puja Gurudev used to say, freedom is not doing what you feel like doing. What is freedom? Not doing what you feel like doing is freedom, he says. You feel like doing something, you have the freedom. I am not doing it. That is freedom. You feel like doing something and you do it helplessly, like a slave. That is slavery. So who is truly free? The one who has his mind under his control. He is the one who is free. The one who is contented is the wealthiest person. One who has mastery over the mind and the senses is the most free person. Then what? Power. Who is the most powerful person? The one who experiences the Supreme Lord in his heart. He is the most powerful. He knows I am not alone, God is with me. He is the most powerful person, isn't it? He knows Bhagavan is with me. So therefore, whatever I need, he will give. So he is the most powerful person. And who is the most secure person? There is Mahatma only. Why he is most secure? He knows body may die, but I know I am not going to die. Most secure, because this Atma has no death. The one who is known, he is the most secure. That story you must be knowing. A king was there, emperor, he was conquering village after village, he was just proceeding. And there he finds under a tree a yogi meditating. And he was fearless, he was sitting there. He goes to that yogi. All the other villagers had fled, they had ran away because they knew the army is coming and bloodshed will happen. But this yogi was there, all alone in that village, sitting under a tree, meditating. He goes to that yogi and says, "Do you know who I am? I can chop your head without even blinking once." The yogi was serene, calm. He looked at that king straight into the eyes and said, "Do you know who I am? I can get my head chopped without blinking even once." Now, who is the strongest person? Chopping somebody's head is very easy. But getting the head chopped fearlessly, that is real fearlessness, isn't it? So from where did he get that strength? His body will die, but I am pure consciousness. That is called strength. That is called strength. Mastery over the mind and the senses, that is true freedom. Socrates, he was once just watching, he was just in a marketplace. So many things were displayed on the glass case, shelf. So he was just looking. So the salesperson was waiting. He thought maybe he will purchase something. So many things he was just watching. So finally, the salesperson became impatient. He came, "Sir, you have been looking all these things for a long time. Are you planning to buy something or not?" Then Socrates said, "I just wanted to know, without how many things I am so happy." There are so many things, and without all these things I am so happy. So I just wanted to know how many things are there without which I am happy. This is called freedom, isn't it? So really speaking, true wealth, true freedom, and true security, true power belongs to whom? Not to the king. It belongs to Mahatmas. That is why all the kings are bowing down to them, because they know, their hollowness they know. So they bow down to these Padukas, to this Guru who is truly experiencing happiness. Happiness is equal to wealth plus power plus security plus freedom. But who is truly happy? The kings know. So they bow down. They are the ones who really rule the world. These Mahatmas. Ordinary kings only rule the land, but the Mahatmas rule the heart, isn't it? I'm sure you must have heard of Mata Amritanandamayi, hugging saint. She is famously known as. And when she comes, thousands of people, sometimes even lakhs, they wait to get a hug from that mother. And she has taken everyone as her children. No education, illiterate, poor lady, rather she is a fisherwoman from Kerala. But her heart is so huge, she is filled with love for everyone. Her mission of life is only one: serve her children. And all are her children, not just Indians. You must be knowing recently for that Namami Gange project, you know how much she gave? 100 crores. Can you believe? The Indian government is stunned. One spiritual organization giving 100 crores for that cleaning Ganga project. Narendra Modi is at her feet. Abdul Kalam was under her feet. No, at her feet. Ever waiting for guidance and advice, etc. Truly a divine mother. She gave another 100 crores for that toilet building, in Kerala, to the chief minister. Right. And that organization took, during tsunami, etc., entire village was taken and thousands of houses were built for them, for the poor people. Not just for Indians, going to Sri Lanka and so many other countries. Just imagine. Every day 1 crore people are fed free every day. There are organizations all over the world. Love everyone, serve everyone, because there is nobody other than you. We are all children of God. Now, this is called ruling. This is called nrupatva. Ruling the heart is the real ruling. You conquer others through love, through service, through goodness. Right. She is a regular visitor in United Nations. Regular visitor. She knows no English, please. She knows only Malayalam. Right? All her bhajans are in Malayalam. And she is a regular visitor to very many countries like America, Australia, and all the Europeans, they come to get a hug from her. And you should see those bhajans, etc. Amma is singing, one with the Lord. All these Europeans are sitting there, white-skinned Europeans, and they are in tears. Bhajan is happening in Malayalam, and they are not able to understand the head and tail of it. But these Europeans are seen full of tears. True language is the language of heart, the language of love. See? Isn't it true that she is the real king? All the big governors are at her feet. Or big state. Thousands gather. Compare this with what Putin is doing there in Ukraine. He is also a king. What is he doing? Only death, devastation, destruction. Everybody is cursing him. You see the difference? Both are human beings, but see the difference. One is conquering people through love. Other is trying to conquer and failing through power, through wealth. See the difference. Who is great? Right? Hanumān is considered to be the king of all monkeys. Atulita baladham hema shailabhadeham danujavana krishanam jnaninam agraganyam sakala gunanidhanam vanaranam adhisham raghupati priyabhaktam Vanaranam Adhisham, it is said. The king of all Vanaras. Now a question may come, Sugriva is the king, no? Yes, Sugriva is the king of the land, but who is the king of the heart of all the monkeys? It is Hanumānji only. Right. So therefore all these kings, they bow down to the Gurupādukās. Of course, they bow down to get blessings. And definitely, when you get the blessings of Guru, you definitely become the king. So many examples are there. Vibhīshan, he became the king by blessings of the Lord. The Pandavas became the king. Yudhishthira became the king by the blessings. Yudhishthira's kingdom, there's a description in Bhagavatam. When Yudhishthira was ruling, what was happening in that kingdom? There was no disease. There was no misfortune. There was plenty and prosperity everywhere. Bhishma Pitama tells him, Yudhishthira, how you should rule the kingdom, just like a father is taking care of his children. In the same way, you must take care of the praja. Right, so the blessings of Gurupādukās, with that a person can become king also. Nrupatvadabhyam nataloka panktehe. Now the next one, now the topic changes. So till now, from 2, 3, 4, 5, it is all about worldly attainments. Now the author, Pujya Swamiji, he goes back to the real purpose of life. What is it? Moksha. So how these Guru, devotion to Guru, takes a person to the ultimate state. This is the content from the next verse till the end. 6, 7, 8, 9. So let us chant verse number 6. Papandhakararkaparamparabhyam Tapatrayahindrakhageswarabhyam Jadyabhisamshoshanavadavabhyam Namo Namah Shri Gurupādukābhyam Namo Namah Shri Gurupādukābhyam Papandhakararkaparamparabhyam Tapatrayahindrakhageswarabhyam Jadyabhisamshoshanavadavabhyam Namo Namah Shri Gurupādukābhyam Namo Namah Shri Gurupādukābhyam. Papa Andhakara Arka Paramparabhyam. For the Andhakara of Papa, these Padukas acts like Arka Parampara. For the darkness of sins, Andhakara of Papa, for the darkness of sins, these Padukas act as Arka. Arka means what? Sun. Arka Parampara means what? So many suns together. A cluster of suns. So many suns together. Means what? So much of brilliance. One sun is itself is enough. But these Padukas like so many suns to destroy the darkness of sins. Tapatraya Ahindra Khageshwarabhyam. These Padukas act like Khageshwara. Khageshwara means what? Khaga Ishvara, the Lord of Khaga. Khaga means bird. See the word Khaga. Kha means space. Ga means going. The one which goes in space is called Khaga. So aeroplane also can be called Khaga only. But here Khaga means bird. So who is the Lord of the birds? Garuda. Garuda is considered the king of birds. Khageshwara. So, these Padukas acts like Garuda for Ahindra. Ahi means snake. Ahindra means the king of snakes. So, who is it? King Cobra. Ahindra. And who is this King Cobra? Tapatraya Ahindra. These cobras of Tapatrayas. Affliction, the three types of afflictions. What are they? Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Devika. So these type of afflictions, these are the cobras. For these afflictions, this Paduka acts as Garuda. So what is the relationship in Garuda and cobra? The snakes. Very easily, like a child's play. Now this cobra is very dangerous. If you wrongly handle, the cobra can take your life. But that cobra is nothing for a Garuda. It plays with it and eats it also. So in the same way, this bhakti towards Gurupādukās can destroy all your afflictions, the threefold afflictions. And then Jadya Abhi Samshoshana Vadavabhyam. Vadava means it's a fire inside the ocean. It's called a submarine fire or oceanic fire. Fire inside the ocean. So this fire, it dries up the ocean. Samshoshana, drying up. So these Padukas are like submarine fire which dries up the ocean. Abhi. Abhi means ocean. Ocean of what? Jadya. Jadya means ignorance. Jadya means inertia. Jadya, ignorance. So these Padukas act like the submarine fire to dry up the ocean of ignorance. Right. Therefore, Namo Namah Shri. Right. So the first one is Papandhakararka Paramparabhyam. To destroy the darkness of sins. This Padukas acts like sun. So many suns. The moment there is sunrise, darkness is gone. This is the relationship. All the papas, sins that are committed in the world, what is the one cause of it? It is only because of ignorance. Ignorance is the cause. So, Andhakara is the darkness of ignorance. And that's why all the papas are committed. So, in this regard, what story you would like to hear? Everybody is waiting for stories. Okay, I will tell one story. This is a story of the founder of Iskcon, Bhakti Vedanta, Srila Prabhupada. So he was born in 1896. His name was Abhaicharan. He was very good in studies. He was very good in English also. He got his degree in English. And after that he met his guru. His guru was a follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a very famous person of his times, a very great saint. So he looked at him and said, see, you have so much of knowledge in English. Why don't you translate Bhagavad Gita in English and start giving this knowledge to the Westerners who have no idea about our scriptures? So this is what you must do. The knowledge of the scriptures, Indian scriptures, must be given to the Westerners because they have no idea about our scriptures. You have such a good command over English, so therefore you must do it. So then Prabhupada said, at that time he was Abhaicharan. He said, who will listen to us? We are the slave of this country, Britain. Who will listen to a slave? He said, no, we are doing for Loka Kalyana. You must understand this. This freedom and independence, that will come and go. Whereas the knowledge in the scriptures, it is eternal. So this is what we must do. He said this. Many years passed by. Before passing away, this guru once again wrote a letter to him. Said, you must do this. I know you can do, you must do. And then he passed away. Now this letter came to him. He was very much touched. He felt, my guru has said this, and if I don't do it, that is not right. He has given a command. And he has faith in me, and it is his sankalpa that it must happen. Guru has made a sankalpa, and he has made me an instrument. So I must do something. So he took sannyas, got his name, Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada. He tried his level best. He translated Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, etc. into English and started, distributing books, pamphlets, etc. here and there in India. No demand at all. Then he understood. These Indians are, they ape the Westerners. Whatever the Westerners do, we are ready to do everything. The certificate should come from the West. We have everything best, but we Indians will never value it unless the Westerners value it. So therefore, no use in doing the work here. I must go to West, make Western disciples, and then come back to India, then these fellows will follow me. Right? And he was true. Today also it is the same thing. Yoga has become famous. Why? Because Westerners are doing it. We in India, we had yoga so nobody values it. Even Swami Vivekananda was respected in India only because he got the respect from the West. So this is the mindset of Indians. So therefore he went to America. Now going to America also was a story. Remember the time when he made this decision, his age was 70. 70. Already an old man. So he said, now I must start my work at the age of 70. I must start my work from America because at that time America was considered to be number one. And in America also, New York. Oh, this was the kind of, mentality people had. Number one in materialism, that was New York. So Prabhupada decided to start his work from there. And so he boarded the ship in 1966 when he was 70 years. 1966. The journey is 22 days in the sea. Very many people told him, "Sir, you don't know, you are already old. The country which you are going, it is very cold country. You will not be able to handle that cold. It is not like Bengal." He was born in Bengal. As a hot place, here it is going to be very cold. You will not be able to take it. And at this age, he did not care. No, it is my Guru's Sankalpa, I must do something. So he boarded the ship. 22 days of travel and seasickness, that's another thing. He was suffering. 2 times severe heart attack. He thought, I am finished. What medical facility you will get in the ship? Severe heart attack, and he just held on to Krishna, Krishna. Somehow he survived. Finally he reached America after 22 days. Then in his diary he writes, "Oh Lord, I don't know why you have brought me here. It's a place, what you call, drowning in materialism. Who is going to listen to me? Who is going to listen to all this Bhagavad Gita, etc.? I don't know, Bhagavan, what is in your mind. What is your will, I don't know. My name is Bhakti Vedanta. I neither have Bhakti nor Vedanta, nor devotion nor knowledge. But Bhagavan, now you only have to do. I may say something. You will have to make these words powerful, and you will have to bring that transformation to these people." This was his prayer. And in the end he writes, "Your most unfortunate, insignificant beggar, Bhakti Vedanta Swami." This is what he writes in that diary after reaching America. No hope. So there he was struggling. So he would type, he had a typewriter, he had a recorder. So in the typewriter he would type something. And then he would take, and then he would, sell these printouts, and whatever revenue he gets, he would get that rent, paying rent and food, etc. 3 months he was surviving like that. In the process, his typewriter was stolen, his recorder also was stolen, and that severe cold, he was not able to handle that climate. One point he thought, no, I am going to return only. But then suddenly he remembered, this is my Guru's Sankalpa. I don't think my Guru's words can become, it will have, something is there. So that was giving him strength. My Guru has told me, so therefore I should try my best. So holding on to these words of his Guru, he strived. That was the time when America was waging war with Vietnam. And it was very clearly, the whole world was against it. Even the Americans themselves, they were holding protests, because Vietnam was a poor country, whereas America was a superpower. And the war was going on. There were a lot of protests in America against American government's decision. And in the process, a new type of generation was growing in America. They were called as hippies. Hippies. What is their philosophy? Their philosophy is the purpose of life is only indulgence. Freedom is happiness. So therefore do whatever you want. There is nothing called right and wrong, etc. Because all these sufferings when they are seeing, they lost faith in goodness, they lost faith in God, everything. Because of all these wars, etc. Younger generation had nobody to guide them. That was the condition. So these youngsters, they were smoking, drinking, having illicit sex, naked here and there on the roadside. This was the kind of generation that was growing. That was the time when Prabhupada came to America. So he thought, nobody is anyway going to listen to me. Why not start from these hippies? Now, this is an unthinkable, idea. Starting from hippies, we are talking of sadhana, chatushtaya, sampatti, etc. for Vedanta. Just imagine. Then he called all those hippies. He went in the middle of them. Then see, you want happiness? I will give you. Come. So some of them, they came. They start chanting the name of the Lord. This power of the name is ultimate. He gave so much of, advice, this, etc. Some of them came. And he was humiliated also, ridiculed also. Some of them, that puff of smoke, cigarette smokes, they blew it on his face. Whatever things was there, it was stolen. But this man remained with all patience, with all perseverance, with all love, with all compassion. He started chanting Bhagwan's name. He said, chant this name. You will have lot of peace. Just try it once. Be with me for some time and just try it. So some of them came and then he started chanting, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chant this. Bhagavan is all powerful. You see, just give it a try. So the way in which he spoke, with so much of love, with so much of compassion, they understood that this man is little different. So some of them came just to be. He had a small, what you call that, mridangam-like thing, small one. So with that he started. Slowly the people started gathering and they would do these bhajans. He told them, close your eyes and just chant and see the effect. And he himself was chanting with lot of devotion, with a sincere prayer to God that Bhagavan, please bless all these people. They don't have anyone to guide them. They are suffering. So his prayer was also there. And these hippies, they really started, getting that joy of chanting Bhagavan's name. Chanting went on for 3 hours. And these slowly the crowd started gathering. They saw this man, that his words had some kind of power. His personality has so much of, some unseen thing is there in him, which has the ability to transform. So slowly these people started gathering. And then he started telling beautiful stories of Bhagavatam, of Prahlada, of Dhruva, of Ambarisha, of Krishna. So many nice stories. Now all these stories we know, you get hooked onto it. So such stories also he would say. And then he would cook food for them also. So slowly they understood this man, what he's saying is right. And they also started experiencing a peace in his company. After chanting, they found that there is so much of peace. And he, in between he would give discourse. Bhagavan is like our father and mother. He loves us so much. It is because we have gone away from him that we are suffering. Turn towards him. So these hippies also, they started doing whatever he said. And they started experiencing a joy. And slowly the crowd started gathering. So one day he asked, why do you take drugs? So somebody said, I want to remain high. So Prabhupada said, I will give you that medicine which will keep you permanently high. These drugs are all high and low. There is no low here, there is only high. And that is this Maha Mantra. Keep chanting. He would also chant, others would also chant. And some of them, they also knew some musical instrument. They would bring their instruments. And it became a very, some of them said, I will cook prasad for everybody. Wonderful. So, they, like that people started gathering. Then Prabhupada said, okay, now you must learn how to worship the Lord. So a beautiful picture was there of the Lord. He said, see, Bhagavan is so kind. You do little and he will bless you. That's all what he wants. It is so easy to worship the Lord. He will accept anything with love. So then he taught them ritualistic worship. Deepa, Dhupa, Naivedya, Arati. Everything he taught them. And they also learned. And then they said, now we must go to Nagara Sankirtan. So all of them said, yes, done. Now by then they had become fans of Prabhupada. So Nagar Sankirtan, what is it? Hare Rama, in different tunes, because there were musicians in that group. There were people who knew instruments, so varieties of instruments, varieties of tunes, and everybody dancing. So these are all, you have to dance, you have to chant Bhagwan's name loudly, the rest is Bhagwan's job to give you peace and happiness. So then Nagara Sankirtan started. And when Nagara Sankirtan started, through the road, main road, people started, who is this? So they also curious, out of curiosity they came, they also started enjoying it, they also started participating in it. And then hundreds of people, with all the flag and what you call Bhagwan's photo, etc., with symbols. It was a big transformation. In the major newspapers, it started coming. There is a Swami who has come from India. He is creating a revolution. And he doesn't consider himself as God. He considers himself as a person who is trying to become a servant of God. You see, this is how he described himself. Aham Brahmasmi. No. I am only a person who is trying my level best to become the servant of the Lord. This started coming in major newspapers and it got a big, support. And then people from other cities also started, Swamiji, will you come to our city? We will organize. The place will be given. Everything will be given. The whole thing will be arranged. Then it started spreading to major cities all over. Then big politicians started coming to Swamiji. Swamiji, you have done such a wonderful thing. These hippies were literally bringing down the name of America by doing all unwanted things. You have made hippie happy. Thank you very much. So big, governors and all those politicians started coming. Right. So this Nagara Sankirtan was going on and everyone would be given sumptuous prasad. It is said Prabhupada had almost 10,000 disciples. Remember an old man, 70 years. 10,000 disciples, and their lives were transformed by this chanting of Bhagwan's name. 3 hours chanting would go on. They were transformed, they got the joy, real joy. They were absolutely indebted to Prabhupada. They were ready to do anything because, drug addict, sex addict, and were devotee of God. So then, Prabhupada, he then called some of his, trusted disciples and he started sending them all over the world, 2 people, to different continents. He said, now, just like I did, you also start. Within just 12 years, he made 14 rounds all over the world. He visited the whole world tour 14 times. And in just 12 years, 108 temples were constructed all over the world. And you will not believe, 12 temples are in Pakistan. Can you imagine? 12 Indian temples are in Pakistan and their study of Bhagavad Gita is regularly happening, chanting of the name of the Lord also. Can you imagine the power of this man? Just in 12 years, 108 temples in 6 continents. Such was his influence. He became very famous, especially because of one person called George Harrison. He was the lead guitarist in that Beatles, English rock band. He was the lead guitarist. He was influenced. And he sang a Hare Krishna bhajan also. It is there in YouTube. He was so inspired. And he gave 70 acres of his land, donated to Iskcon for this kind of purpose. I think Henry Ford's grandson also was he also became a devotee of Prabhupada. There's only one question he asked when he came, grandson of Henry Ford. Where is Henry Ford now? He asked. No, he used to command. A very fearless person. Just imagine when God is with you Where is Henry Ford now? By then Henry Ford was dead. Where is he now? Means what? Whatever you attain in this world, everything is ephemeral. Nothing is going to stay. And just that one question, and grandson was floored. So all these devotees. So one day, once he came to India also with all these Western disciples. The Indians just need this. Westerners have become, then definitely is a Mahatma. Just imagine Nagar Sankirtan with all these, white people with head shaven, with all those marks, with, what do you call that? Ochre color robe, singing Hare Rama, Hare Rama. It was a revolution again in India. How did he transform these Westerners? And then he came to Jagannath Puri. So seeing these Westerners, etc., the temple authority said, no, foreigners are not allowed in the temple. You know what Prabhupada said? If you don't give darshan to these Western, if Western disciples cannot have the darshan of Jagannath, we will take Jagannath out into the world so that the whole world will get the darshan. After that, they started this Ratha Yatra. In all Iskcon temples, they have Ratha Yatra. If you don't allow Western disciples into this, to have the darshan of Jagannath, we will take Jagannath out. He just went back and started this. In all the temples, he started this Ratha Yatra on Krishnashtami day, Ratha Yatra, so that Bhagavan gives darshan to the devotees all over the world. Devotees need not come to Bhagavan, Bhagavan himself will go to devotees. He made that, and it became a huge success. Right? I think Steve Jobs also makes the comment that there was a time when I was really poor, so I used to walk 7 miles to have the sumptuous lunch given by this Hare Rama movement. There is a video there. In Stanford University or so, he speaks like that. Makes a mention there. So in America, he started another one. He said, at a very young age, small children should be exposed to these values of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, etc. So therefore, we should have a Gurukula-like system, where small children are exposed to great teachers. Teachers with character, sterling character, with pure heart. When such teachers, when they teach small children, their personalities really transform. So therefore, a Gurukula-like of system, they have made it. They purchased 133-acre land and they have named it Vrindavana. Vrindavan, where Bhagavan Krishna spent his, So Gurukula thing was made there. So this way, just how many years? In his 70th year he went there. 82nd year he had gone. 1977 he had passed away. 1896 he was born. 1977 November 14 he passed away actually. But before passing away also, his body has become thin. It is said 22 hours he used to work, 2 hours of rest. And now these books have to be translated into English. So it is said even while walking, morning walk he used to go. Even while walking, he had a recorder, so he did not have time to translate, etc. So his disciples would translate and he would record. So even while walking, the disciple will keep the recorder, walking is going on and commentary is going on. So whatever he has spoken, so these disciples, Western disciples, they would sit and transcribe. It is said at his deathbed, that video is there in YouTube. He is so thin, he can't even speak, half weight you can say. He is commenting upon Bhagavatam. And this disciple with a mic, all of them are very near. What is he saying? Because the old man is not able to, very close, and somebody is writing, somebody is recording. And this man, great difficulty is speaking something. They were the last moments of Prabhupada. So till the last moment, serving Guru, what an amazing personality. Hats off. November 14, 1977, he passed away. But by then, just in 12 years, Iskcon had become a worldwide organization. Where did he start? Papandhakararka paramparabhyam. The point is this. Hippies, can you believe? What got drowned in sin. From such people he started. What a personality. What an inspiration. My Guru has given me an instruction. I must do my best. How many people were transformed because of that? Papandhakararka paramparabhyam. Proceeding forward. Tapatrayahindra khageshwarabhyam. Tapatraya. So what are the tapatrayas? Adhyatmika, Adhibhautika, Adidevika. So they are all the obstacles. So here we are not talking of some obstacle, we are talking of obstacles in spirituality. So what are the Adhyatmika tapas? The worst is no faith, no interest. These are all the tapas. You are not interested in spirituality. Finished. Everything is over. You sit for some time, listen to the talk, 5 minutes, say, yeah, boring. Get up and go away. This is called as Adhyatmika tapa. Finished. Everything is over. Or your body is not cooperating. You want to meditate, but 5 minutes you sit, back pain, knee pain, head pain, neck pain, bas, you lie down. These are all Adhyatmika. The problems in the body, within the body, in the mind. Then the second one is Adibhautika tapa. You are full of, spiritual josh, but your husband or wife say, what is this you are doing? Nonsense. The obstacle from the near and dear ones, obstacle from the surrounding. This is also there. It's not easy. To come to the spiritual path is very difficult because most of the people, they will try to discourage you. They say, what are you going to get? This is not the time. Oh, after retirement you go. Young people like you work hard, they are needed. What is spirituality? This is what will they say. And the majority people belong to that category. Remember, tamasic people are maximum. Rajasic, second. Sattvic people very, very less. So you will always find most of the people have no interest in it. Not only that they will not have interest, they will try to discourage you by giving so many foolish reasons. This is another tapa, obstacle from the surroundings. Or obstacle can be that there is no satsang only available anywhere. You don't even know that such a thing is there. Very many people say, Swamiji, I should have met you 20 years back. It is always there, but we are not prepared. It's called as Adibhautika tapa. And the last one is Adidevika tapa. You have no problems in the outer world. As far as body is concerned, that is also fine. But when you sit for meditation, you are not getting that taste of that bliss, that connectivity, that presence, that divine experience is not there. Feeling the presence of God is not happening. Why? Ego is huge. Where the ego is, Lord is not. When the Lord enters, the ego vanishes. When the ego enters, Lord vanishes. So everything is conducive. But there is no, that experience doesn't happen. Meditation is very dry. There is no joy in meditation. There is only boredom. When you sit for meditation, you go to sleep only. It's called as Adidevika tapa. So what happens when you have devotion at the lotus feet of the teacher, to the Padukas? Tapatraya indra khageshwarabhya. Just like a Garuda eats all these venomous snakes effortlessly and makes it non-existent. It digests it completely. You see, it is not just killing, it eats also. Garuda eats away the snake, and now what happens to the snake? That's non-existent. In the same way, this bhakti in your heart will destroy all this. Means what? Whatever adhyatma tapa is there, you will have interest in it. You will have clear thinking. You will have faith also. This bhakti will develop all this. And then this bhakti will create a conducive environment where you have a lot of time for all this. You see? Bhagavan will not trouble such devotees. He will fulfill all your worldly needs. And you have a lot of time for scriptural studies. You have a lot of time for Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. Understand, it is only because of grace of God. Because there are so many people who want to attend spirituality, but they are so burdened by all their professional commitments, family responsibilities, etc. They have no time. So this is how Bhagavan blesses a devotee. He gives a lot of time. In the heart he develops that faith. And that joy comes. When you sit for meditation, that joy comes. You feel the presence of God. Understand, these are all blessings. So many ways Bhagavan is blessing us. We must be able to understand that blessing, recognize that blessing. Tapatrayahindra Kaveshwarabhyam, then Jadyabhi Samshoshanavadavabhyam. The entire ocean of ignorance is dried up. What was the first verse? Ananta Samsara Samudra Tara. Now what is the difference between crossing the ocean and drying up the ocean? When you cross the ocean, ocean is still there. Isn't it? When you dry up the ocean? Now what does spirituality do? Does it make you cross the ocean or dry the ocean? It is drying. It is not crossing. You see? Exactly like when you wake up from your dream, what happens to the dream world? Have you crossed the dream world or have you dried up the dream world? Dried up means what? Non-existent, illusory. That is called drying up. It is not there. Earlier we were experiencing it, now suddenly it vanishes. This is called drying up. What is crossing? You cross, you help yourself, but the ocean is still there. Not that. So this is the right word actually. Samshoshan, drying up. The whole world vanishes in samadhi. You come to know the whole world which you are seeing, it is just a projection of the mind. As long as the mind is, world is. But what is the nature of the mind? Manasam tu kim margali krite naiva manasam marga arjava. No mind only. No mind means what? No world. This is called drying up, samshoshan. There is no crossing, it is drying. You come to know your pure consciousness, and whatever you are saying, it is only the projection of the blabbering of the mind. Projection means what? Blabbering. And when the mind is silenced, there is nothing. It is only pure consciousness. These Padukas will bless us to gain that state. More of it we will see tomorrow. So tomorrow will be completely Vedantic topic only. How this ocean is dried up. What are the qualifications these Padukas bless us so that we can reach that stage. So that is the topic for tomorrow. Guru Devaya Namo Namo.
Guru Devaya Namo Namo.
He Parameshwara Namo Namo.
He Parameshwara Namo Namo.
Guru Devaya Namo Namo.
Guru Devaya Namo Namo.
Brahma Vishnu Maheshwara Rupa.
Brahma Vishnu Maheshwara Rupa.
Trimurti Rupa Namo Namo.
Trimurti Rupa Namo Namo.
Trigunatita Namo Namo. भावातीता भाग्यविधाता भवभयहरणा नमो नमो आनन्दरूपा नमो नमो चिन्मयरूपा नमो नमो गुरुदेवाय नमो नमो हे परमेश्वर नमो नमो गुरुदेवाय नमो नमो गुरुदेवाय नमो नमो ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ